All right, Amani, this is part 3, and we're focusing on the red section there, all the red parts in your writing, and that's organization, structure, coherence, cohesion. So let's get to it. All right, here we go. Whereas drugs being tested on animals is another issue that must be taken into consideration to avoid blah blah blah. Okay, now whereas is one word. It's a good subordinating conjunction to show contrast, but it's not used correctly here. Whereas is going to introduce a dependent clause or subordinate clause. Not used correctly here. You need a transition, something like however. So you can say, however, drugs being tested on animals is another issue, and that makes the sentence very nice. So, however is a good word to use to replace whereas. You can use however there. The other thing is you can put however in different parts of the sentence. That's another thing to remember, because a lot of times students put however at the beginning of the sentence. But a tip for you, try to put however in a different position. You could put it between the subject and verb, or you could put it at the end of the sentence. So you could say drugs, however, drugs being tested on animals, however, is another issue. Because drugs being tested on animals would act as a subject, and then you're going to put however here, comma, however, comma, is another issue that must be taken into consideration. And that'd be very nice. Okay? So first tip for you. All right. Let's go down. You have, there you go, even though. Okay, quick, get to the point with this. Even though, not used correctly, and it doesn't belong here. Over here, on the other hand, good try again, not used correctly, no need to throw it in there. Even though, used a little bit better, but just really not appropriate in the sentence, that clause or phrase, whatever you wrote there, this one, is a little bit better, but it doesn't belong in this paragraph. Okay, so let's see. The point is, all your cohesive devices, and cohesive devices, basically I'm referring to subordinating conjunctions, transitions. These are the big words, teachers use. But those words like however, whereas, on the other hand, furthermore, all of your cohesive devices are used incorrectly. So that's what you need to focus on. You need to use your cohesive devices correctly, and don't just throw them in there. When you put them in there, wherever you like, it's clear to the reader that you don't know how to use them. All right. So I gave you a tip how to use this one. Okay, use however instead. Now, a bigger issue, how you answered the question. You gave like a little bit of a historical background. You're saying, that historically, scientists and doctors used prisoners or war captives to experiment on, blah, blah, blah. And then you said, on the other hand, some would argue that there is no other option. So basically, you're not really showing the other side. You're just continuing to talk about the one side. Now, what is your job in this writing task 2? All right, and I'm sorry to be a little harsh on you, but I got to hammer this down, hammer this point so you understand. Okay, so right here, sorry about that. I lost control of this. Here you go. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. I apologize for that. Here is your question. Okay. Some people think that safety testing of drugs on animals is necessary. Others, however, believe that it should be avoided. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. All right, so this would be the blue section, like answering the question. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. You didn't give both sides. You didn't talk about both views. You gave your opinion. You barely gave your opinion at the end of the essay in your conclusion, but you really didn't develop both sides. So you could probably do better by writing your introduction and then the first paragraph talking about why it's good to test drugs on animals before we roll them out for society. And in the next paragraph, talk about why it might not be a good idea. Okay, you need to show both opinions. Don't mix the two ideas in one paragraph like you did in the one paragraph you wrote on the other hand. You kind of mixed both sides in one paragraph. Separate them. Make sure that they're clear. This paragraph is about the support. This paragraph is about why it's a bad idea. The positives on one side, the negatives or the advantages on one side, the disadvantages in the other. Is that clear? I hope it's clear. So you can probably structure your essay better that way. All right. Now, one more video, and that video is going to be the takeaways, all the things you must do so that you can hopefully score better on your next writing, IELTS writing, and hopefully the last one. So one more video, okay? That's me, part 4, Amani. All right, ashufik baden, inshallah.